Homer was struggling to climb up the human pyramid when the support in his hand suddenly broke, causing him to fall from midair. Fortunately, Homer was quick-eyed and grabbed someone else's underwear, barely managing to stabilize himself. He took a deep breath. At this moment, he continued to climb with the honor of the entire town on his shoulders. Finally, he reached the top of the tower, but when the judges measured the height, they were still 30 centimeters short. Just a few days ago, Homer was reading the Guinness World Records. He also wanted to create a world record. He came to the World Records department. This place was full of eccentric people. They were all here to compete for some world record. Soon it was Homer's turn.
What's the longest anyone's ever done this?
3 years.
Oh, fine.
So Homer pulled a cobra out of a box. He wanted to play a 5-string instrument with the cobra, but the judge thought it was the cobra who set the record.
Mr. Simpson, there are thousands of people like you with no discernible talent.
Yeah, they're called Congress.
Shut up.
The judge suggested he could compete through a group performance. Homer organized the residents of Springfield to build a human pyramid. Everyone rehearsed hard according to the plan Homer drew up. They built a huge pyramid.
All right, I'll make base camp here and try for the summit tomorrow.
After Homer reached the top, the judges measured and found they were still 30 centimeters short of the required height. Homer cleverly lifted Maggie over his head, which just broke the world record. But everyone needed to hold on for 3 seconds. When everyone heard this news, they instantly started trembling nervously.
Dude, you're touching my hand. Ew!
The pyramid couldn't bear the weight and collapsed instantly. They formed a huge sphere and rolled down the slope and finally crashed into a truck that was being weighed.
Cruel world. Hello, ironic twist.
They all scattered onto the scale. The world record judges drove over. They discovered their weight broke the world record. Springfield became the world's fattest town. This was even included in the handbook. The townspeople were all celebrating their obesity. After cheering twice, everyone was tired and gasping for breath. Nelson gave an elbow strike and everyone's bellies bounced one after another. This even squeezed Milhouse's glasses off.
Now that everyone's so open about being fat, I can finally stop sucking in my gut.
Marge was worried about this situation. The children had sugar everywhere from eating it. Maggie's face was also covered in syrup. She struggled to remove the syrup from her eyes. Marge prepared healthy food for Homer, but he had to dip it in sugar before eating. Marge discovered that the sugar factory was actually processing garbage, scraps, and gelatin into toxic white sugar, and then selling it to the residents of Springfield. She began conducting investigations. Marge found that once people stopped using the toxic white sugar, they would experience poisoning symptoms such as muscle pain and weakness. Children were the most affected.
My baby! Where's my baby?
In addition, some time ago, Springfield created the world record for the fattest residents. The residents here were already addicted to eating sugar. They were not ashamed of obesity, but proud of being overweight. For the health of her family and friends, Marge decided to take the Springfield Sugar Factory to court. Under Marge's advocacy, the residents gradually became aware of the harm caused by sugar. Professor Frink powerfully proved the harm of sugar to health from a scientific perspective. This further angered the factory owner. The sugar factory owner wanted to bribe the judge with luxury candy. The judge believed this was exactly what made him obese.
It's Hershey highwaymen like you who made me fat.
Well, Your Honor, the court carries it well.
The judge ruled in Marge's favor. From today on, Springfield was not allowed to sell sugar-containing products. Sugar suddenly became contraband. The police gathered and burned the sugar. Major supermarkets also removed it from their shelves.
Nothing left. Nothing left.
When he saw something sticky on the ground, he immediately started licking it on his knees. Apu told him that wasn't sugar, but he had a way to get sugar. Homer followed Apu to a secret room. There were several other people here. A batch of sugar arrived at the border, and they needed Homer to go pick it up. Homer agreed on the spot. He returned home and took Bart with him. Just as the two were about to leave,